want to know what's funny, friend, is my husband, their father was the first person to hold the door for me. And I used to get so frustrated with him because I'm just used to rushing, which is poverty. Like, rushing is a manifestation of poverty, but that's another conversation. But I'm used to just getting to where I need to go and rushing to the door. So I was literally left standing at the door waiting for my husband, at the time, my boyfriend, get to the door. So I'm just like, I can't just open the door. He's like, no, you're going to wait for me to open the door for you. And I was just like, I would be pissed that I got to wait for this man to open the door for me. So now it's like I walk up to a door and I'll wait. And when I became very intentional about raising my sons, because it wasn't the idea that I'm not going to, and my husband, but I'm speaking for myself. I say it's not in an exclusionary space. It's just, I'm speaking about myself, but when I came to the realization that I must raise every aspect of my son, and I need to raise them now, not tomorrow. What the issue is, and me and my husband have had conversations in this, is he's like, I'm raising men too. And I was just like, yeah, but you want to wait until they're a specific age to raise them. You want to wait until they're mature enough. Do you understand that there's children in other countries that run entire households? There's 5-year-olds who come home from school, get the griddle popping, and got dinner ready for when mom and dad get home. Like, what's maturity? And so I was like, if I want this to be a part of who my sons are, I need to create it into their framework, because we have to understand what a child or a human is to know. They learn in the first, depending on the study, the first 6, 7, or 8 years of their life. So the first 6, 7, or 8 years of their life is very structural. Now you also have to understand, as far as the education system is set up, the reason why a child, this is all my theory and I believe it to be true, so it is, the education system, a child is able to drop out at the age of 16 legally because they are done with the programming. They have determined that is the space. I say 14 to 14, 15, 16 era, and look at your life. That is when you go into that I'm grown space. So you have to get your children in that learning space, which is 0 to 14. You got to build trust with your kid so that your kid will allow you to continue to raise them once the world gets them. Because once they get into the you can't tell me nothing, I'm grown phase, the streets are going to raise your child going forward. It ain't got to be the boom, boom, boom streets. It could just be social media. It could just be the TV. It could just be their friends. It ain't got to be the nut if you buck streets. But somebody beside you is going to raise your child if you do not get your child early. So, yes, my children, from the moment I realize I'm raising men, I have man expectations. My 5-year-old's cleaning the kitchen. My husband's like, he's too young to clean the kitchen. The dishes are going to be dirty. And I was like, the dishes will be dirty until they're clean. My 5-year-old needs to know. It needs to be programmed in his head that he does housework. So his wife doesn't say, hey, I need help. And he's like, because sometimes he helped around the house, or he wasn't expected to help around the house until his teen years, and in his teen years he thinks he's helping around the house. No, it's your house, clean this, so it is important that we catch our children from the cooter on up. They need to know you are a visceral part of the functionality of this family, of this home, of the trajectory, of our legacy, of everything. They are a part of everything. They are not just the money makers and the layers. No, they are everything. And I'm raising my children from 5 to 7, and it started at 3 and 5. I'm raising my sons very intentionally. They doing all the things because it needs to be a daily practice. I like your mama, friend. I like your mama. Now, when I'm with my children, my female children, the elder holds the door as a form of respect. This is just something I came up with. When I'm with my sons hold the door. And my sons wait. So if I'm with both of my sons, one son, this is a new development, right? Because I'm just like, why are you walking in the door before me just because you got the door? I still think that's disrespectful. So now the new development is one will have the door and the other one will step to the side while the females go inside, and then the men bring in the rear. That is just making sure the women are protected, right? Go inside, and if there's multiple, a man can go inside, scope the seam, so you can come up with however it looks for you. But it makes me feel better to see my two sons standing outside while the women go inside, and then they come in behind them and bring in the rear. And so now when I'm with both of my sons, or when I'm with my husband, whoever has the door, the men will wait for the women to enter. If I'm with my daughters or with females, if I'm with my friends, whoever gets the door gets the door. I don't mind holding the door for other people, because for me it's a sign of respect. It's a way that I can honor you. I watch a lot of K-dramas, so I watch how they pour each other's drinks. Like, I'm like, that's weird, but I can dig it. So it's just a way that I can say, I love you, I respect you, I'm here for you. So when I'm with my daughters, as the elder, I hold the door. And I teach my daughters, as the elder, if it's just you two, your oldest sister holds the door for you, just out of a sign of respect. But yeah, who knew holding the door was such a thing, friend? Who knew?